I will turn it on. So there are 3 things that are out of the normal that I want to remember to do today, so please remind me if I forget. One is we have to remember to count the Omer. Does anybody know what day we are? 21 days of the Omer. Is that what you just said? Wow. If it started last week, we're getting closer. Yeah, 7 is right. So if it started last week, last Saturday was 1, Sunday was 2, Monday was 3, Tuesday was 4, where are we? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night is 7. Because I mean, if we start on a Saturday, it's like bris counting. If you're born on a Saturday, your bris is that same day. A week later, that's the 8th day. So we would be counting 7 tonight. It's a little bit tricky because officially the sun doesn't go down until something like almost 8. But we can choose to start Shabbat early. We can't officially choose to end Passover because we've decided to start Shabbat. So that gets a little bit more complicated. And so I thought it was a good idea for us to do a Yizkor service in the evening so that people could be together and doing the Yizkor instead of trying to get everybody to come in the morning. And so this is unusual for us to do a Yizkor service in the evening. And that's why we have these books out to use. It's the same books we've been using since Yom Kippur. And so we have to remember to do Omer. We have to remember to do birthday Shabbat because it's the beginning of April. Who here has their birthdays in April? Yay, that's why we're braving this weather. Or anniversaries. I've got the list. Did you get your bulletin today? You should have gotten your bulletin today. You didn't get it today? We've got some. That last month was a different story. I don't understand about last month. And because of the fact that we are celebrating Simcha Shabbat, which means joy of Shabbat, all the people with birthdays and anniversaries this month, that's a celebration. And we're also commemorating Yizkor, which is a memorial, which is a sad day. I think you're going to appreciate what my very teeny sermon is going to be about, and you'll see what it is. And officer, please stay dry. And are you watching for us about if there's a tornado heading to us? We believe that staying in this room is not a bad idea if we close the doors and things. Is that okay? Okay, because we're far from windows. There's a window back there, but we're kind of protected, and we'll stay. We've got the wall there, so we'll stay here. And you better come in with us. Thank you. All right, thank you. We keep getting notices about not far tornadoes. So thank you to everybody who's here. That's all day long they kept saying probably severe storms and no tornadoes, and now praying for safety and for everyone. So the first thing we do, did you have a stressful week this week? Busy making the world a better place? I hope so. I know we tried. But the first thing we always do when we begin Shabbat, and we can choose to begin Shabbat early, is try to relax. So we take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And try again. And let it out slowly. And feel the tension relax. This weather was wreaking havoc on my bones and my head and everything else today. I don't know if anyone else is feeling the pressure from the weather, but I love the fact that we get to have Shabbat together. So tonight we will do service 3, which begins on page 82, and I am going to invite Mitch and Julie to come up and help us bless the candles and the kiddush. And as is our tradition, please rise, if you can. Thank you.
These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Shabbat, of Sabbaths long past, and of their beauty that delights our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, who hallow us with your mitzvah and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We now turn to the Kiddush, the sanctification of the day. Turn to page 167 and then 166.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hooray pri hagafen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You called us to your holiness for your mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Sabbath especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. You are welcome to sit down. Please say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with, someone you didn't come in with. Welcome, everybody. Good Shabbos. Thank you. Thank you. Nice job. Thank you. It's okay. It's used to being bonked. It's a rock and roll. It's rocking and rolling. That's what it is. We continue at the bottom of page 83. There are days when we seek material things and measure failure by what we do not own. That's your part at the bottom of 83. Wish not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature with reckless greed. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we think only of ourselves. On Shabbat, we open our hearts to the needs of others. Therefore, we welcome Shabbat. Day of rest, day of joy, day of peace. And we sing this song that welcomes the angels that accompany us on Shabbat. The transliteration is below it, and the translation is at the top of the facing page. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel. Born of our longing for the living God, it has been to Israel throughout our wanderings a visible token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast, it has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truths are true for all people. Its love is a love for all people. Its God is the God of all people. As it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let all the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash meraba, be'alma divra chiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dochol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala, ba'agala, ובזמן קריב ומירו אמן. יהא שמך רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמך דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ומירו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. At the top of page 87, oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Le'olam Va'ed. I need some Mirovs to come help me with this one, please. How many want to come? Just two? I'll take two. You want to help with Vehafta? No? You want to just thing? Alexander? You want to get up? You know, push it back in? Whatever you want, sir. Go ahead.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל
עבדך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. so shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations. We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children. This is the covenant I make with Israel. I place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power. You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, al Yerushalayim v'al kol ha'olam, which means, praised are you, Adonai. You spread out a sukkah, a tabernacle of peace upon us, on all your people Israel, on Jerusalem and all the world. We give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace for all the world. Whoop. Make it a pinch quieter. That's better. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam beni uven b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam oti le'olam oti le'olam vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asah Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. please rise and turn to page 93 for the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Yeah, I think that's hell. What do you think? We continue on page 94. Come on in. It's hail, right? Golf ball size. Thanks for coming in. Come on in and close those doors. We're good. We're on page 94. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive. Confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust. Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth, we hallow your name. As it is said, be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy. God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days. You may be seated. Sounds good out there, doesn't it? Aren't you glad you're in here? I'm glad we're in here. At the top of page 96, God who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God. Source of life and its wonders, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness, you are compassion. We give thanks to you forever. So is this one of those miracles within all we behold? How many times have you seen golf ball sized hail? You hear it? Golf ball size. You've seen bigger? Last week? It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? We have to sing louder. We'll read a little louder. But it's very impressive. So we read the part about peace below the paragraph in Hebrew on page 96. God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. This isn't together. I said loud. Come on, everybody together. God of peace, justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace. Now, what's supposed to happen in this part is we're supposed to have silent prayer. Are you listening? Silent prayer. We're supposed to be able to say the prayers that are in our own hearts. Up until now, we've been given the prayers that have served us well from generations through generations. But now we take a moment of private meditation. We pray silently. Oh, say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yah say shalom, Yah say shalom, shalom So we have 4 people here who have never been to a Jewish service, and they're saying, oh, well, so here's the question. So do you feel like safer here? Or do you feel like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to us? I feel safe right now. I'd rather be here than out in it, no? Well, it's already quieted down. I would rather not be out driving in that. If we get outside and our cars are tinged, I would rather not have been driving in that with golf ball size hail all over the ground. We get out there, it's going to be much more calm, and I'm glad we were here together. Don't forget that thought, because first we have to do the other things. I don't believe in quizzes in the middle of services, but I told you 3 things were going to happen. So one of those 3 things is counting the Omer. So it's a commandment. God tells us in the Torah that we are obligated to count, and God says it 2 ways. God says you're supposed to, I think you have to push. Push. Yeah, it worked. She was stuck in here forever. God says 2 ways, that you have to count the days between Passover and 4 times 4 weeks, plus 1 day is 50 days, so which some places call Pentecost, 50 days. We call it Shavuot. We're counting Shavuot for the weeks. The Omer was kinds of wheat. It's the wheat harvest now, and the Omer was kind of wheat that were brought and then shaken and waved in the beginning, front of the temple. We don't remember those things, but we do still remember to count. So as we pointed out today, who was paying attention? How far are we today in the Omer? 7 days. So the way we have to do that, because we're fulfilling a commandment, is we say a blessing of fulfilling a commandment. And the blessing is, we say, praised are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe. You made us holy by giving us commandments, and you commanded us about counting the Omer. In Hebrew, the blessing is, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. And then I'm going to say in Hebrew, Hayom shiva yamim shehem shavua echad laomer, which means today is 7 days, which makes it 1 week of the Omer. So you have just done a mitzvah, and I'm very proud of you. No, thanks, what? That was good. The 1 week of the Omer was really good. And there's a tradition that if you don't count the whole thing, like every single day, if you skip a day, you're allowed to count the next morning. If you skip 2 days, there are rabbis who say that you're not allowed to say the blessing, because the commandment is to count all 50 days. So if you skip, then you're not counting the 50 days. I say, if you pick it up at 7, and that's when you start remembering, then you're counting the 50 days. You're trying. You're doing the best you can. You can say the blessing if you want. If you want to continue to count without saying a blessing, your choice right there. But I don't see anything embarrassing about having said it. We now turn to the inside back cover of our prayer books, as our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill or recuperating. And I turn off the microphone for a moment as I read the names of those who are recuperating. I don't announce them. Max, are we streaming? You would like to have us include in our prayers, I invite you to call out the names. So last week I told you an insight that I had just learned, and it makes a lot of sense to me, and that is that it is okay for us to pray for people even if we don't say their names out loud. If you recall, in the Torah, there's this very powerful prayer that Moses said when his sister was sick. He said, El na refa na la. One syllable words, very powerful, very penetrating. He said it twice. It means, please, God, please heal, please her. And he said it twice. But he didn't say her name, and we know who he was talking about. And so that sometimes it's okay for us to say prayers and not even say their names, not say them out loud. I come from a family, you don't say things out loud sometimes, which is not why we turned off the microphone, but people deserve some privacy, potentially over the internet. But our hearts and our prayers join together as we read what's in the inside back cover in English. We say, "Oh God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added strength to them and their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim." We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And it has become our tradition to add, Misheberach avotenu ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. And we will do the blessing we'll do Yizkor at the end of the service, and we'll bless the birthdays and anniversaries in a minute. But there's something that I wanted to tell you, and I promise to keep it brief. But in attempting to try to do a Simcha Shabbat, which is a joyful Shabbat, and a Yizkor, which is a sad remembering Shabbat, it reminded me, and then there was an article that popped up on Aish this week, and I'm going to try to give credit where credit is due. I took from a number of different sources. So there was an article by Rabbi Lawrence, I think his name is Hayjof, and he wrote an article called Jewish Comedians and Splitting the Sea. He mentioned the fact that, there are lots and lots of Jewish comedians. See if you can guess who any of these people are. If I tell you Leonard Hacker, how you know him? Buddy Hackett. Ooh, you're good. Leonard Hacker is Buddy Hackett. How about Joseph Levitch? Close. Jerry Lewis. Daniel Kaminsky. Danny Kaye. Borja Rosenbaum. Victor Borja. How about Jacob Cohen? He turned it into a Rodney Dangerfield. How about Joan Malinsky? Joan Rivers. How about, he said his personal favorite was Bernie Schwartz, Tony Curtis. There are many others that you can think of, and there are lots of comedians. And why are there so many Jewish comedians? Why are there so many people who are trying to be funny if you're Jewish? And why are there so many popular ones? He started his article by saying that, that's not critical. The important thing is, so a couple of quotes. One is, in Proverbs it says, a merry heart, I'm going to read the translation that they had, and this was from another article. This was from an article about Jewish humor that says, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. That's from Proverbs. And we know that some research has shown that if you laugh, it can be a painkiller. It can help you to heal. Have you heard that? So there is also research that said that it doesn't help you to heal necessarily, that's inconclusive. Although they said, let me see, there was just adorable. It says, there's this whole new field called laughter yoga now, and that it's supposed to produce laughter and concomitant physiological benefits, but you don't have to laugh about something. You're just supposed to stand there. And they do these, I heard on a TED Talk that there are these companies now that come and teach you just to laugh. They go to businesses and they just teach you to go, really deep belly laughs. And if you do that for X number of minutes, a minimum of 12 minutes every day, you feel better. It helps your business better. If all of you in the same company are laughing really hard together, it will make everything work better in your company. And now there's research that says maybe not, but it may help if like you and your doctor laugh a little bit. That sometimes that makes things a little bit better too. I think laughing helps. And I think that obviously one of the reasons why Jews tend to be funny is because life is sometimes hard. And when life gets hard, it makes things a little bit better when you laugh. We just laughed. I tried to make it funny when we were here pounding on our windows, and I hope that it makes it pass better. I mean, I'm a rabbi and not a comedian. As a matter of fact, that was one of the lines that this guy who wrote that first article said. I always thought of myself as funny, but the fact that I'm a rabbi and not a stand-up comedian shows how successful I was. But he points out, and this I loved, that there are a number of places in the Torah that are hysterical, that shows that God has a sense of humor. And I don't know if you want to believe this, but one of them ties in with Passover, which is why I wanted to tell you this story. Because there's a quote about, as soon as we make it past the Sea of Reeds, we're kind of living in real-time history. So years ago, we just left slavery, and we're about to come into, we're escaping, and now we're at the Sea of Reeds, and we can't get anywhere. And then the soldiers are coming from behind us, and we're stuck, and there's nothing for us to do. We can't get past, we don't know how to swim, and then the soldiers are coming, and what do? So we make it across, big wall, blah, 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 you know the whole story. But once we get to the other side, what happens? Well, we get hungry, and we get thirsty, and we start to complain. And one of the lines that we said says, when Pharaoh drew close, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them. This is before the sea, obviously. And they were very afraid, and the children of Israel cried out to God. So what did they say? Did they say, God, please don't kill us with a whole bunch of golf-sized hail? No. Or did they say, God, please don't kill us with these, please save us from the horses, the soldiers? Do you know what they said? They said, God, what, there weren't enough graves in Egypt that you brought us out here to die? That's funny stuff. That's not like, is that the way you complain? It reminded me of Tevye. You brought us here just to die in the desert. Gee, thanks. That's what they're saying? It is. It's really, but it's funny, and we have always been kind of funny. In a few weeks, we've got when the Maslow twin boys are going to do their B'nai Mitzvah, they're going to tell the story about how this guy is riding on a donkey, and the donkey keeps seeing he sees an angel and stops, and the angel and the man starts talking to the donkey. The donkey starts talking. That's funny stuff. Donkeys talking to people. And the guy doesn't stop and say, oh my gosh, my donkey's talking to me. He just talks back to the donkey. The Torah is filled with lots of funny stories. I'm not going to tell you that it's all hysterical. I'm not going to tell you not to take any of it seriously. But, I don't know how many of you, if we went to Mom and said, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? How many of you ever heard from your parents or ever were the parent to say something other than what was for dinner? Did you ever say things like poison and cockroaches, like usual? I think that was what we were supposedly served almost every night that we asked, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? Poison and cockroaches. It was funny stuff. That was funny. So I just think that sometimes that at happy occasions we're sometimes reminded of sad things. And at sad occasions, I think it's a blessing that we also get to laugh. It's not a horrible thing. I wouldn't want you to be in the movie theater when my kids and I are watching a scary movie or a serious movie, because a lot of times while we're out in the movie theater and all the little girls are going, oh no, he's going to blow away, and we just laugh and laugh and laugh. Don't try to be in the movie theater at times like that. We're dangerous. But I think laughter is a good thing, and I think Judaism teaches that. I think the Torah teaches that. So I want you to look for it. When you find your favorite jokes, I could have told you a whole ton of jokes today, but when you find your favorite jokes, let me know. So before we do the next stage of the things that I told you to remember, I have to let you know, I want to thank Mitch, and I want to thank Julie for helping us bless. Cut it out. See, that was my bump. Sorry. We have special services every Friday in April. On the 13th, which is next week, Joe Bat's granddaughter is coming with her groom to be blessed here. So I hope that you join us for that. And there's a special Oneg Shabbat sponsored by the Bernstein and Bat families. But some of us aren't going to be able to stay long because there's a Lanyap Shabbat, which is our next opportunity for a 7:15 Shabbat. Anybody who'd rather come at 7:15? We're going to be working mostly on the Torah service next week. On the 20th, which is 2 weeks from today, we will be celebrating the 70th birthday of the State of Israel, but it happens to also be the week of the birthdays of Lori Levine and Cheryl Rubin, and they are helping to host a special 70th birthday Shabbat, so I hope you come to celebrate with all of us. April 27th, the last Friday of the month, Spencer Reichman and Sarah Dunham are scheduled to come here and sing again, and you know how awesome that is. We do have religious school and Hebrew school scheduled for all the remaining weeks in April. We also have special events each Sunday in April, so there's a blood drive this Sunday. Anyone who can give blood, please speak with Helene to schedule a time. On the 15th at 3 p.m. is the 35th Annual Holocaust Remembrance Service in the Shreveport area. The mayors will be there. We'll light 11 candles. This year, there's a very powerful musical presentation that's being prepared. It's also the anniversary, the 75th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. So I hope that you come and remember to thank the Federation for helping to coordinate and sponsor it. On Sunday, April 22nd, we have a special breakfast and Earth Day celebration with John Paul Young doing a special presentation. Please remember to come to the congregational meeting on May 6th, where we take our new picture and we thank outgoing board members and we welcome in new board members. And this is special news that's not even in the bulletin. So B'nai Zion has a lot of very old, important financial documents and things to shred. I mean, very old documents to shred. And since we're bringing a truck here, we will be having an opportunity for you to bring your important papers here to shred them. We're going to be requesting a donation, and you'll get more details early next week about when and where, but especially at a time like this, like when everybody's finished with your financial stuff and you can get rid of things from previous years, if you want us to help shred it and make a donation to B'nai Zion, please remember us for that. I want to thank the Ruthie Neerman and family for making a donation for flowers in loving memory of A.A. Gilbert, and I hope she's staying dry and safe tonight. I guess that's why she's not here. Maybe they're watching from here. And having said that, I need 4 people to help me hold the poles, and I need all the birthday people, which I think is maybe 1 person, birthday and anniversary people, to come and get under the poles, under our chuppah. And more people? Come on. Hold on, hold on. One more person, you want to hold on? Who's holding? Thanks, Larry. And everybody who's out there with birthdays and anniversaries, we have, like, in my family, I have my brother, his ex-wife and their kid, and my other brother and both of his kids. Come on under, 1 more step. There you go. Yeah, not because you don't leave room for everybody, but we're glad you're here. God of days and years, author of life, our times are in your hand. We thank you for the blessing of life and for all that enriches our days and our lives. We gather today in special thankfulness to share in Goldie's happiness. Be with her always as the joy of her life. May she be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow and bad weather. May we have the joy of coming together for many more years, united by mutual reverence and love. Then will our lives be filled with the abundance of blessing. And we say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. We thank you, God, because you gave us all life. You sustained us and brought us to this very special moment. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. All right, we can put that back. And I'm going to, and I need everybody under the age of 15 to come up and help me open the ark. Page 100, everyone else is turning to page 148. 148. While they are opening the ark, please rise. 148. Ready? You coming? Wait, let everybody get there. Look, the Torahs are wearing white and the rabbi's wearing white. How did that happen? We're well coordinated today. Come on out. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. And on the facing page we say, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. And when the ark is closed, you may be seated. Wow. Crash. Nice. Thank you. And thank you. So I'm going to introduce this section with what it says on 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. I want to include those for whom we can't say Kaddish because we don't yet know when they're going to be buried, but I am sad to report that we have lost already 12 people in our military this year. That means American military. We've lost 35 police officers, including 2 from Louisiana and an additional 5 canine officers. We've lost 23 firefighters and 2 from Louisiana. And we are always grateful for the fact that there are people who run into dangerous situations for our sake, and that we pray that their families are consoled and that their memories are always a blessing for us. And in addition, then, I ask you to please, the Yizkor part of the service is on the very first page of this book that we were handing out. That's essentially the Yizkor service. And it's supposed to, the first paragraph is supposed to be said privately as you remember those people for whom you're observing Yortzeit. But Yizkor, I mean everyone that you have that are immediate relatives. But I want to point out that this year, since 5778 began, we remember Muriel Bundrick, Sarah David, Henry Elaine Dreyfus, Vivian Murov, and Janet P. Stewart. Does anyone else have other people who they've lost this year since September? So we continue. The first paragraph we read privately, and we remember the people who we have to remember. May God remember forever our brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who gave their lives for the sanctification of the divine name. May they be at one with the one who is life eternal. May the beauty of their lives shine forevermore, and may my life always bring honor to their memory. And this first in Hebrew, El malei rachamim shochen bamromim, hamsei menucha nechona tachat kanfei ashchina, הם קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מזכירים לנשמת יקירנו שהלכו לעולמם. בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרו בצורה חיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם, ונאמר, Amen. Which in English means, and you're welcome to read the bottom paragraph with me, O God, full of compassion, eternal spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest under the wings of your presence to our loved ones who have entered eternity. Master of mercy, let them find refuge forever in the shadow of your wings, and let their souls be bound up in the bond of eternal life. The eternal God is their inheritance. May they rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. And in addition, we have names to read who, although having said the Yizkor prayers officially includes everyone, but it's also a regular Friday night, and I want to include those for whom we're observing the Shloshim and those for whom we're observing Yortzeit. So those for whom we're observing Shloshim include Henry Elaine Dreyfus and Sarah David. And those for whom we're observing Yortzeit this week include Felix Alkas, Bradley Batterby, Carol Manheim Crane, Melita K. Frankel, Myrtle W. Friedman, Abe A. Gilbert, Abram Ginsberg, Edmund Golden, Aubrey C. Harris, Ira Katz, Mabel Can Landauer Levy, Louis Ox, Phoebe Rabinowitz, Louis Silverblatt, Norma Levy Weinstein, Walter Wallens. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise, as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. The translation is on 155. You'll notice that this prayer is one that only praises God's name. We thank God for those we lost. Their memories, their hearts are still within us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehe shemei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha v'richu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated. It really is a blessing and a privilege for us to be here together, especially when the weather outside was terrible. I'm glad that you're here. Officer, how's the weather out there? Still bad? We're not leaving. Good thing we've got snackage here and lots of friendly people. I brought my guitar. We could sing as long as we need. Mitch will help. It is a blessing for us to be together. It is a blessing to be together at sad times and at joyful times. And I am glad to be here with you tonight. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you from whatever's out there. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. Safe days, safe things. The officer will let us know when it's safer for us to leave. But now, please join us for our Oneg Shabbat. Oh my goodness. Where was that from?
Outside.
You did that?
Yeah.
You just did that?
No, not right.
Who took that picture?